Everybody, and welcome back to another weekend roundup. Today we're going to take a look at all the mods newly released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of November 18th through November 22nd, 2019. Now, this was a rather active week in the Mod Hub where we saw well over 50 mods get updated or newly released this week, and in total I believe there were 27 mods newly released, so just about as many updated as were newly released. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the mods in the Mod Hub that were either updated or newly released this week. So here we are in the Mod Hub, and we're going to start on page 3, actually, of the Mod Hub, where we have the Dresdenhof map. That was the first map or mod that was updated this week, as well as the John Deere 110 111D0D. Oh my gosh. Echo 3. Now, this was updated to add console support. Then we have the Vala NL28 trailer that got updated this week. Let's go ahead and move on to page 2. And page 2, we're going to see lots of updates also. We've got the Cressoni NL28 that was updated. The Universal Passenger mod was updated this week, and it now includes DLC support for the Class vehicles. We have the Farm Sim 17 old pickup truck making its way into Farm Sim 19 after one full year. We've got the Rodeo pickup was newly released, as well as a Vaederstad Rapid A600 or 800 seater. This is a modded seater where you can make tramlines. Now we have the dynamic Freeland Heap storage building and the Bale Chipper. These were newly released mods this week, and I have to say I'm a little disappointed with these mods because these mods require global company. As you can see, the last sentence here in the description, but there isn't the required mods section here. Usually on mods where there is a requirement of another mod, there's a section that is right here above the screenshots below the description that lists required mods and then lists them. Regretfully, that is not linked to this mod or the other one. Kind of annoying if you don't remember that. You download these and you go to use them and you discover that you're not able to because you have to go out and get global company also. Here we have the Guettler Simplex 25. This is a front compactor, cultivator basically, that was newly released. We had 2 Seasons Geos get newly released this week. We had the Queensland, Australia Geo and the Southern Italy Geo. Now, this one is rather interesting, and we're going to talk about this when we get to that section, because this is completely backwards from all of the other Italy Geos that we've seen so far. All of the other Italy Geos have harvest in the spring or summer, and basically have planting in late summer or autumn. So this is more of a traditional harvest plant cycle that you would expect, and it's kind of odd. It is completely backwards from the other Italy Geos that we've seen in the last several weeks. Got a British BunkerSilo placeable. When we had an update to the Vaederstad mod and the PIM 40 mod. Now the Vaederstad mod, this is one of my favorite placeable mods, and updated with this, added an optional frame with cover, and a couple fixes with respect to some Lua errors, I guess. And we have an update to the stubble cultivator. The chicken food bag was updated. The IT runner for silos was updated. And this week we had a few prefab mods get released. This is one of them. Basically, it's an agricultural convoy sign that you can put on your own vehicles. Now, these prefab mods are not mods that you activate in the Mod Hub and use in game. These are mods that are basically built for use with Giant's editor to create something. So you could create a vehicle with this convoy sign on top. You could create a map that had a vehicle with this convoy sign on top, for example. Got the FB Barn pack from Farmer Boys Modding got released this week, as well as a British farmhouse. We had an update to the Seasons Midwest Geo. We have the Bailey TB16 trailer. We had a release for Chicken Pen. Then we had the Lizard D50 And D55 Pack by Kaztan18. This is a rather interesting pack. This is, you can see, is released for all platforms. Blizzard D50-55 pack. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. Take a look at the other mods that KAWECO has released. And right here we have the AutoSand D50-55 pack. Well, it's the exact same trailer pack, just a different name. Now you'll see the AutoSand pack is PC only. So if you're a PC player and you've downloaded the AutoSand D50 D55 pack, there is absolutely no need and no desire, or basically no need at all, to download the Lizard D50 D55 pack, because it's the exact same thing. We had the Joskin Trans-SPACE 6500 trailer got released. Now the Farmtech DPW 1800. This is another interesting mod this week. This one, you can see here, it says it was released November 21st on Thursday. When I saw this show up in the Mod Hub on Thursday, I thought for sure I had seen this earlier in the week, but I couldn't find it earlier in the week. It was just right here. Well, later in the week, actually on Friday when I was preparing to record this video, I noticed in my downloads for the mods released this week, I had two Farmtech DPW 1800 mods. I had one here, DPW 1800 underscore console, dated November 18th. I had the other one, Farmtech DPW 1800.zip, dated November 21st. They are the exact same file size. They are, for all intents and purposes, the exact same mod. I don't know why the one that was released on the 18th was taken down, and the one here on the 21st was re-released. But I can tell you, if you downloaded this mod on the 18th, I see no reason why you should download it on the 21st also. You already have a copy. If you think you may have downloaded both, take a look in your mod folder, sort by file name, and just see if you have both of these trailers. They're the exact same as best I can tell. I opened up the zip files. For the most part, all the files that I could see had the exact same file size. The fact that the zips is the exact same file size, only difference appears to be the file name. Let's go ahead and take a look at page 1. And we had updates to the Case Quad Track series, crop storage, and the BunkerSilo by DMI 20mm Normandy. We had, now this was newly released and updated this week, both. We have the SIP Favorite 220. This was released initially earlier this week. It's like another one that was released, let's say, on the 18th or 19th, and then it was re-released here on the 21st. Kind of interesting. In fact, I had two of these in my mod folder. Well, when I downloaded it today, and I went to stick it in my mod folder, it said I already had a copy of it. And I was like, what? And that is because basically I had downloaded it previously, and it had gotten updated like literally the next day. We've got the multi-silo shop. Then we have some more prefabs. We've got the EDF post prefab. Again, this is for map makers. These are not placeable poles that you can put into your map in-game. These are mods for map makers to put into their maps with Giants Editor. The beacon light is to add to a vehicle. So these prefabs, they're not to be downloaded and put into your mod folder. They just will not work. We have the MX Silage Blade that was newly released. And then we have the CRX, the Cressoni CRX harvester headers. These are kind of interesting because these fold up. See one folded up. There it is unfolded right there. So they're kind of interesting. We're going to take a look at those in a bit more detail in a little bit. We had updates to the Lizard forks, an update to the slurry trading system, and an update to the Agri bumper. We had updates to the Warrior Plus Plus truck pack, as well as the newly released Hawk Plus Plus truck pack by 5.9. Then we have the Fasterlift system by 5.9 that will work with either the Warrior Plus Plus or the Hawk Plus Plus. We had the Siloking EA 2300 kind of a bale shredder got newly released this week. We have the KAWECO PullBox 800H was newly released, and all out the placeables. We had 5 placeables get released at the end of the week. We had the Garage, Grain Storage, Farmhouse Rebuild, the TimberedFarm, and the Fun Ramp all got released on Friday. And then we had 2 maps got released. We had the Premiz Outback, and then we have Green River 2019 got also released here at the end of the week. So guys, that is basically all the mods that were newly released are updated this week. Let's go check out the daily updates forum. See that we still have 147 mods waiting to be tested. That number seems to fluctuate up and down during the week, but you know what? By the end of the week, it still seems to be hovering around 150 mods. That was with nearly, well, over 50 mods released or updated this week. We have 8 working days is the approximate backlog, and I'm going to have to tell you guys, we're pretty darn close to Christmas. Giants historically shuts down for a couple weeks during the holiday season. I am really concerned that basically the mods pending testing number is going to just skyrocket, and I'm seriously concerned that sometime by the middle of January, that number might be well over 300 mods, and we may be back into the point where we were last year around the first of the year, where the wait time for submitted mods to be tested wasn't measured in days, it was measured in weeks to months. So that is a very, very big concern that I've got going forward, because we haven't been able to see this number shrink too much below 150 on any given week. So with that, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and jump back into game, where we're going to take a closer look at all the mods newly released this week. All right, so first up, we're going to take a look at the Pickup Rodeo by Vector Man. This mod is available for all platforms, and as I said in the intro, this is our Farm Sim 17 old school pickup. I have to say, I like this truck a whole lot more than I like this truck here. This truck is just too rounded, too slick, maybe a bit too European for my tastes. This is more of the quintessential classic old school American truck that I am used to seeing. So that's why I really like the fact that this truck has returned. So we have the choice of paint color. We have our normal colors that we can pick. Gloss green there. We can go with roof bar. Get some lights on top of the roof bar there. Beacon lights or no roof bar. We can do a bull bar with some grills around the headlights. Or we could go with obviously any combination of those, like so. And then as configured, we are looking at $50,800. That's kind of expensive for such an old pickup truck. Lease costing is $2,590 to total, $508 per day, and $1,066 per operating hour. It's pretty expensive, this old truck. I don't know if the scaling on that's right. I mean, looks like I'm taller than the truck is. At any rate, let's take a look. So we do have straps on the truck. We can unfold the truck. We have now. So we have opening up and down. We'll open and close the driver's door. Left and right with the mouse button. We'll close and open the driver's door. Now, sounds are a little odd. It looks like every time I move my mouse, I'm basically getting a new door open sound. But other than that, that's pretty cool. We've got our first stage lights and our second stage lights. We have reverse lights, brake lights, flashers. Take a look on the inside. We do have an animated throttle and brake. We have an illuminated dash, so that's pretty cool to see. All right, there you go, guys. That is the Rodeo pickup, again, by Vector Man, and it is available for all platforms. Up next, we're going to take a look at the Hulk Plus truck by FS19. This mod is available for all platforms, and I have to say, I'm really excited for this mod and for FS19 in general. We've been able to enjoy his mods on PC for quite a while now, and I'm really glad to see the Warrior and the Hulk come to the mod hub so that console players can enjoy the plethora of configuration options that his trucks always have. So we have the choice of rim color, and we could go all kind of crazy on these. We could go black, metallic, go with the design color, go with something a little bit audacious, just to see what the design color is. All right, so let's go back to something stainless steel. There you go. And then, of course, we have the main color. Let's go back and celebrate Kloss today. So we're going to pick Kloss. Then we have the short semi configuration, the semi-normal configuration, semi-long configuration. Then we have the flatbed. We have the log bed, the hook lift with 2 axles, the semi-short single axle, the semi-Fasterlift, and we're going to take a look at that here in a moment also. Then we have the semi-sleeper and the semi-sleeper long, and back to the semi-short. Then we have Lizard brand wheels, we have Trelleborg brand wheels, Nokian brand wheels. Then we have real setup rim 1 lowered, rim 2 lowered, rim 2 higher and softer. So the suspension is going to be a bit softer on this, but you can see truck jump up there. Then we have rim 1 higher and softer, and back to rim 1 lowered. We have fenders covered with paint, covered with our design color, half paint, half design, long paint, long design, mud flaps, or then back to none. And we have exhaust 1 normal and normal windows, exhaust 2, exhaust 1 with tinted windows, exhaust 2 with tinted windows. Then we have the Hulk Plus 550 horsepower truck, 680 horsepower truck, and then we have bumper type 1, bumper type 2. So you put some light bar on the bottom. Bumper type 3, bumper type 1. So that is crazy configurations for this truck. Let's just go ahead and lease this particular variant, and we're going to get the faster lift version because basically we're going to show that off here in a little bit. So as configured, we're looking $159,600, $8,139 to lease, $1,596 per day, and $3,351 per operating hour. Of course, this is an edit of the in-game Hulk truck, so we pretty much are going to expect the interior to look and feel kind of how the in-game Hulk truck looks and feels. There are first stage lights, second stage lights, third stage lights. We have backup beavers. That's cool. Backup lights, brake lights, flashers. There you go, guys. That is the FS19 mod Hulk Plus, again, for all platforms. Now, we talked about looking at the faster lift mod. This mod is by FS19 also, and it is intended for use with the Hulk Plus or the Warrior Plus in this faster lift configuration. Okay? So if you get this and then go to use it in some other truck, it's not going to work. You're going to need the Hulk or the Warrior Plus Plus. So we're going to find that here under front loaders. We have the Fasterlift, $9,800, $499 a lease, $98 per day, and $205 per operating hour. And basically what this does is it's going to convert our truck into basically a yard telehandler, loader, if you will. We do have the fifth wheel still, so we can use the fifth wheel if we want. Basically what we do is we back up to that, and now we have the ability to use front loader equipment. Let's go ahead and just get something simple. Let's get a bucket. Kind of an interesting deal here. I guess maybe using it with pallet forks would be a bit more maybe realistic or more functional than this. But basically, if we take a look here at the mouse controls, X to fold front loader, kind of compresses it, holds it for travel. At this point, we could probably use this with a semi-trailer, minus, of course, the attachment. When we unfold it, now we can make use of it. Left click obviously goes up and down. Left click, left and right, tilts the bucket. Right click, up and down, extends it. So if we extend it out, extend it all the way up. And there you go. So you kind of got this interesting semi-truck front loader action going on. And then when you're done with it, okay, basically you would take this over here, disconnect the bucket, hit X to fold it up, and at this point we'd use this then to haul trailers around with the fifth wheel because it's just hooked up and folded. I like the fact that we have hose attachments there in the back that this loader has connected to. See those hoses hook up when you hook up to it? That is pretty cool option for, again, the Hulk Plus Plus and the Warrior Plus Plus, also by 5.9 mods. Next up, we're going to take a look at the MX Silage Blade. This is by Frobel LS Modding. This mod is available for PC only. We're going to find this here under Levelers. For the MX Lame MX, $1,875. No configuration options on this. $10 a day. What is up with this? Why are mod authors still doing this? Seriously. We are 1 year into Farm Sim 19. Base implements don't charge a per day amount. Base vehicles don't charge a per day amount. This is so Farm Sim 17, not Farm Sim 19. I shouldn't be charged $10 a day because I own this blade. At any rate, $95 to lease, $18 per day, $39 per operating hour. Here we have our silage blade. 3-point connection on that, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a modest tractor that has itself a 3-point connection. Connect up to this. Check the F1 control. Left mouse button up and down will raise and lower it. Left and right will tilt it forward and back. Of course, V will raise and lower it also. Once it's down, we can make fine adjustments left and right with the left mouse button. R up and down. V will raise it back up. And a silage blade is a silage blade, right? There isn't a whole lot going on with this particular thing. But we're not going to spend the time to really work with it and see how well it moves the silage. That is pretty much all we've got going on with that one. Next up, we have the Vaederstad Rapid A600-800S Tramline Edition by EJVINSSON. So yeah, I just can't pronounce that. So you can see the mod author in the lower right-hand corner. This mod is available for all platforms. We're going to find this here under Seeders. We have the stock Rapid A600S, $76,000. Then we have the modded A600S, 800S with tram lines, $76,000. This has an 8-meter working width, 210 horsepower requirement, 6,600 liters of seed and fertilizer. This also has 6-meter, so we can get in 2 different variants, 8 meters and 6-meter working width. And this is going to work with our standard grain crops. This is a seeder, not a planter. You have the choice of main color. You have red or black in special edition. Kind of like the black look there. We have hopper extensions for seed on or off. So the way this works is without a hopper extension, this holds 3,100 liters of product. With the seed hopper extension, it holds 5,000. The fertilizer hopper extension, it holds 4,700. With both extensions, this holds 6,600, as I said a little bit earlier. We have the A600S and then the larger A800S. Take a look at the A800S. So as configured, we're talking $99,000 to buy, $5,049 to lease, $99,990 per day, and $2,079 per operating hour. I need something a little bit beefier than the tractor that we had. It's kind of handy. They're both in the black paint scheme. That look pretty good. So we do have hose hookups when this connects. Get in to open the seed and fertilizer bays. We get a nice cool little ladder that swings out. Go ahead and just load this up with product. There we go. So seed in the front, fertilizer in the back. Head on down to our test field and do this thing a bit of a drag through the dirt. See how she behaves. Fold it. All of those hoses. Now let's take a look here. We have a choice, obviously, of ridge markers like that, and then we have toggle working mode. So left control Y. You see there in the F1 menu it says select working mode, tram lines off. So let's lower this down. Let's turn it on. Drag it a bit through the ground. Okay. That is obviously tram lines off. Okay. There. Let's go left control Y. Now we have narrow tram lines. Drag that through a little bit. And you can see there now that we have 2 areas, one right here and one right there, that have no seed in them. Let's say if we have one that is tram lines narrow, the next one is going to be tram lines normal. And then the next one is going to be tram lines wide. And we're back to 0 tram lines. Let's take a closer look at these. So here we are at the wide tram lines. We can see they narrow up a little bit. The normal tram lines, then you can see they narrow up a little bit more. And the narrow tram lines, then they go away completely, where we have 0 tram lines. So if you're somebody that likes to have tram lines in your fields, so you can come through later with fertilizer and not have to worry about crop destruction, or you just like the way fields look with tram lines, basically you can use this to put your own in, depending on the size of vehicle and the width of the wheels will govern which option you pick, and the ability then to turn tram lines on and off. So you can have a one run without tram lines, one run with tram lines, and one run without. And basically, if that was a 6-meter seeder, that would give you approximately 18-meter working width between tram lines. You would have basically 6 meters on either side of the pass. With 8 meters, you're talking something like 24-meter working width as far as the tram lines go. So that is the Vaederstad Rapid A600 800S Tramline Edition by, well, the guy in the lower right. Because I'll just call him Jens, because I can't really pronounce that last name. So up next, we're going to take a look at the Guettler Simplex 25. This is going to be a disc harrow, and this thing is awful small. This is 2.5 meters working with. Go to disc harrows. Scrolling over here, we have the Guettler Simplex 25. This is by Rick Black Label. $1,890 to buy, $96 to lease, $18 per day, $39 per operating hour. No configuration options. This does have a 10 mile per hour working speed. Go ahead and get our smaller tractor. We're going to grab this thing, head back down to our testing field, and we're going to push this thing through the ground and see how she works. There are no hose attachments or anything. It's pretty simple. No hookups, no electrical. This mod is available for PC only. Lower it down. Doesn't look like we need to turn it on. We just drop it down and start pushing her through the ground. We don't have any particle effects. We just have some rotation on the discs in the middle there. See that we are basically working up then ground that is behind it. But at only 2.5 meters, I've got to wonder, how practical is this particular implement? I mean, the smallest seeder we really have in-game is 3 meters. So we really can't use this in conjunction with 3-meter seeder, with this in the front and the seeder in the back. So other than just it being rather narrow and having a fairly light horsepower requirement, I'm really sure I see the practical use scenario for that particular attachment. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Siloking EA 2300 by White Bull Modding. This says for direct feeding of strewing of silage, are straw bales. So basically, it is a bale shredder. The Siloking provides a very clean and a real fast fodder. So we're going to find this here under Animals. And we have the Siloking EA 2300 $5,500 to buy. So it's right there, kind of in line with these here. A little bit more expensive than that. 2,300 liter silage capacity on this. $5,500, $280 to lease, $55 per day, $115 per operating hour. Are no configuration options on this thing. A little uncertain on how this is going to work if it only has 2,300 liters of capacity. If I'm really going to be able to hook this up and basically do a bale shredding action. Take a look here. Left click up and down, raise and lower. The arm left and right will open and close. Scoop there. Turn on the mixer. Discharges out the side. V will lower the mixer wagon. So really, it's a silage. It's not a bale shredder. I was wrong on that. This is a very small sized forage mixer. There we have our mixing ratio: hay, straw, and silage. So you would basically lower this down, back it up to your silage pit. You basically scoop it on in and close it down. Maybe back up to some hay. And at that point, scoop it in, etc. If you've got a really small farm, then that might be something of interest to you. Again, by White Bull Modding, and that mod is available for PC and console. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Cressoni CRX. These are the cool folding headers for the harvester. So let's go ahead and get, let's get the New Holland harvester to use with this, because these headers are kind of small. And we're going to go here to headers. And here we are. We have the Cressoni CRX 6 meter, 6.6, 6.6 meter, and 7.2 meter, $40,000, $46,000, and $52,000 respectively. And let's take a look and compare how that is with some other headers. So we are here with the Free Flow 25 is 7.6 meters. The Power Stream is 5 meters. So we really don't have any headers between those two sizes other than this Helianthus at 5.7 meters, but it is a sunflower only header. Let's go ahead and get one of each just to take a look at them. So we do have the choice of design color. And we have the choice of main color. Kloss green, or we can go with New Holland yellow. We have design CRX, rape knives, Soja Flex, or back to CRX. Let's go ahead and lease this one. $40,000 as configured. $2,040 to lease, $400 per day, and $840 per operating hour. This one is just a hair bit wider. Let's get this one with rape knives, and we'll get it in AGCO Ideal. AGCO Ideal, we'll just do that. This one is $49,500, a little bit more expensive as configured. And then we have the 7.2, the bigger one of all, 7.2 meter working width. Let's get the Soja Flex on those, and we'll make it case red, just like that. $54,500 as configured. Take a look at these things. Pretty slick. If you're working on a small map, maybe has narrow roads, but you want you don't want to have to use harvester header trailers, then this might be right up your alley. Let's see how these work. So this mod is for PC only, and it's by Alex Mateo 7810 and MN3D. Connect to that, and at this point we want to X to unfold the header. That action. That is interesting. How that works. Oh, that is pretty cool. Unfold the harvester. Hold that. This again. Let's turn it on. Then of course we have left mouse button up and down the reel, left and right to extend the reel. That's pretty slick. Let's turn it off and let's now fold up the header. See this action a little bit more close up. That hole rotates up a little bit. Then this header slides over. It's on hydraulic. Then that header continues to roll over. So, and then we can head on down the road. It's pretty cool. I suspect these all just unfold the same. I'll go ahead and unfold this larger one just to see it. Oh, that one's clipping through the harvester there. There you go. That is pretty cool. That is the Cressoni CRX folding grain headers for your harvesters. Come in 6 meters, 6.6, and 7.2 meter working widths. And they are available for PC only. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out while I went ahead and cleaned up that place a little bit. We're going to take a look at the Bale TB16 trailer by Euro Agri Modding. This mod is available for PC only. You're going to find it here under trailers. And we have the Bale TB16 right here, $21,000. For a trailer that holds nearly 40,000 liters worth of product, holds all of the standard in-game fill types. So let's take a look here. Nearly 40,000 liters, 51,000 for the Bandit 750. That is our next closest competitor as far as size and price. So that is a pretty darn good price for the capacity. If we take a look here, we have the choice of rim color. And then we have the choice of main color. And we have the choice of design color. I don't see the design color. I suspect that is going to be the tarp. Let's see, we have the choice of standard configuration, standard extension, arch extension. So at standard, we're only holding 21,700. So the store information is a little misleading on the other screen. We have to get all the way up to the arch extension or the standard extension to get the nearly 40,000 liters worth of product. We have the choice of Lizard wheels, Michelin wheels. Then we have a choice to add or remove a rear hitch. And then we have the choice of reflective tape on or off. Still haven't seen that design color. Like I said, I suspect that is going to show up as a tarp. So as configured, 25,400. That is with the extension, 1,295 per day, or to lease, 254 per day, and 533 per operating hour. Does look like we are going to have dynamic hose support. Like how that's coming out of that kind of hose holder there, and then going into a port, receptacle port to hold all of those nozzles. It's pretty cool. Hopefully it'll keep them clean. Connected up. We do have hoses hook up. Let's just see, do we have a tarp cover? Don't have a cover. Okay, so a little curious what that design color is, because I did pick blue. Not seeing blue anywhere. So as we do with trailers, I'm going to come over here and we're just going to force tip this so we can see how it tips. We do have a choice of side back, tip side back, tip side grain door. So let's do a grain door, Control I. See the animations. And then let's do tip side back, and we'll see what that takes a look like. There was a little bit of a delay when I did that option. The whole door lifts up and then the whole back lifts up. It does lift up fairly high, so if you do have a sell point or a silo that would happen to have a roof, this trailer may not be one of desire for you. Let's check some other things here. You have brake lights on this trailer, both on the door high up and at the bottom. 4 ways, left and right flashers there. First stage lights, second stage lights, and then a third stage we have a rear work light. That's pretty cool, so we can see when we are unloading our grain or something like that. So that is the Bale TB16 by Euro Agri Modding, and it is available for PC only. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Lizard D50 D55 Pack by KAWECO. This mod is now available for PC and console, and this is the trailer pack I told you that was basically released a little while ago as the Agro San, I think, trailer D50 D55 Pack, and it's just basically been rebranded for Lizard and re-released. But now he's got basically 2 mods out there that are the exact same. So we have the D50 for $9,000, the D55 for $14,000. Both hold the standard in-game fill types. So we have the choice of rim color, main color, and design color. We have a capacity of 4,950, 7,960, 9,900. We can change it to a bale wagon, a bale loading wagon where the side door is down, or just a standard tipper. We do have a rear hitch on this, so we could, in theory, road train these together. $9,800 as configured, $499 to lease, $98 per day, and $205 per operating hour on the D50. The D55 basically is a little bit taller. Choice of rim color again, main color, and design color. And we have capacity 4,950, 7,960 with a cover, 9,900 with or without a cover, 1,550, and the bale loading wagon. A couple different variants of the bale loading wagon. Now, this particular configuration right here, I believe the fill type changes to only accept forage type products. We're going to go ahead and get one and take a look and see. This is a dolly trailer, so if you are someone that doesn't like backing up dolly trailers, then this whole trailer pack is probably not going to be something you are really overly keenly interested in. tip side left, tip side right, tip side left and right. See, this one, of course, accepts all of our standard in-game fill types. Okay. And so let's this one out of the way. Let's do a force unload. So that just opens the door. Just to tip out the back. Tip side left. Opens the door. There's no sort of hydraulic action going on there. It just kind of spills out, I guess. Alright, so I was wrong. This has all of the in-game fill types also in this particular configuration. And here we have tip side left and tip side right. And on this one we do have hydraulics, whereas the other one did not, apparently. Yeah. We have the Lizard D50 D55 trailer pack by Tan Modding. Again, this mod is available for all platforms. Next up, we have the Trans-SPACE 6522. This is yet again another trailer. So the Trans-SPACE 8000, this is a 3-axle trailer, kind of long, holds 31,000 liters. Then we have the Trans-SPACE 6522. This is a 2-axle trailer, a little bit shorter, 29,800 liter capacity, 31,000 liter capacity with the little sideboards, 35,640 with the double-decker sideboards, 35,640 with kind of the forage type wagon sideboards there. You can switch on sides, back to 29,800. Go to two of these with a choice of Trelleborg twin radials, T404s, T421s. Then we have Michelin Cargo X-Bib, Cargo X-Bib HF, and Nokian tires, and then back to Trelleborg. So as configured, we're looking at $53,298, $2,718 to lease, $532 per day, and $1,119 per operating hour. That was configured at $3,560, I believe. Let's see where that compares price with some other trailers of that general capacity. Trans-SPACE 8000 at $31,000, $35,000. The Bandit 39,000 for $51,000. Then we have the Trans-SPACE at $51,000. So it's kind of an expensive trailer. So this mod is available for all platforms and is by ETA La Choice. Take a look here at the F1 menu. We have the choice left mouse button, left and right. Open and closes the rear door. Now the mod description says the back door cannot empty the trailer. You can open and close it, but it doesn't necessarily cause the trailer to empty. Kind of an interesting thing. Right mouse button up and down causes the ladder to unfold, so that's a pretty cool animation there. We don't see that typically. We do have hose hookups. Then we have a choice of tip side back or grain door. Go ahead and do a force unload. Just see how this thing looks. Made a grain door. Slow tip. Well, a fairly high dump. So if you are in a sell point or a silo again that has a roof, then this might not be the choice for you as far as which trailer to use when you unload. And it is really, really slow. which is pretty cool. I kind of like these slow trailers. I think the game overall, trailers move. Overall, the hydraulics in the game kind of moves a bit too quick, maybe a bit too unrealistic. Next up, we have the Farmtech DPW 1800 bale trailer by Agritechnic Nordfile. Now, this is the trailer that I talked to you about that was released one day and then was released another day as a completely different named mod, but the mod itself was totally the same. Here we have the DP 1800, pretty beefy looking trailer. Got two axles in the rear, got an axle in the front here. Choice of main color to change the frame. Standard configuration, front extension, back extension are both extensions. $18,300 to buy, $933 to lease, $183 per day, and $384 per operating hour. This will use the truck. Hook up to this. This truck does have rear hitch and hose attachments and everything. There you go. You have straps on this trailer. Unfold the trailer. That makes it a little bit longer, but straps do not extend into that extension. So I'm not really sure how useful that extension really is, and the fact that the straps really don't go that far back. This is a dolly trailer, so those folks that have issues using dolly trailers might not enjoy this particular mod. So we do have our backup lights, we do have our brake lights, left and right blinkers. Farmtech.eu. Pretty cool looking trailer. It's not auto load or anything fancy like that. It's a plain Jane flatbed bale pallet trailer by Agritechnic Nordfile, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the KAWECO PullBox 8000 H trailer by Smitty. This mod is available for all platforms. Let's go back here to trailers. And we have the KAWECO 8000 H PullBox, $48,000 for 40,900 liter capacity. This does hold all of the in-game fill types. You have the choice of main color. Changes these vertical parts. You have the choice of rim color, which obviously changes the rims. Then we have Trelleborg tires, Michelin tires. We have side protector, yes or no. We have a cover, yes or no. Resting cover. Let's get the cover. We have a curtain or no curtain. We have a grid. These fold on either side. So let's get the curtain. That looks kind of interesting. $56,000 as configured. $2,856 to lease, $560 per day, and $1,176 per operating hour. You have hose hookups on this. Let's go ahead and open the lid. Oh. In. Okay, so that was pretty quick. But if I hit in to close it, in. It closes very, very delayed. Okay, so I'm hitting in right now. Okay, and it opened it. So I'm hitting in right now. And then it closes. So that was a pretty good delay there. That's something to be interested in. Left mouse button, left and right. That is for the grid lid, I suspect, to open and close it with the left mouse button. It's kind of hoping that the curtain would be animated as it kind of accordioned up. But no dice on that. So left control I. This is one with a push wall on the front. Hence the name, I guess, PullBox. There you go. That's how it works. That is the KAWECO PullBox 8000NH by Smitty. It is available for all platforms. That is actually going to do us, guys, for all of the vehicles and implements in this weekend's Weekend Roundup. We're going to move up and now take a look at all of the placeables. And there are a ton of placeables this week. We're going to take a look at all the placeables, and then we are going to jump out of game and do a little bit of a growth and harvest analysis of the 2 seasons geos that were released this week. So first up on our placeables is the dynamic Freeland Heap storage by Zoodle Zocket Mods. This mod is available for PC only, and it does require the global company mod. As I said in the intro, I really wished that this mod description was a bit more upfront with that, because I think a lot of people are going to download this, a lot of people are going to activate it, get it in game, and then bam, get the notification that they need to go out and get global company just so they can make use of this mod. Take a look here under placeables. Take a look here under silos. It's not under silos. That's right, it's going to be under global company because it's a global company mod. So we have dynamic heap storage, 1 heap, 2 heaps, 4 heaps, are 4 heaps in a straight row. So the heaps, $5,000 to buy, $10 per day. You see, it holds all of the standard in-game fill types. And let's go ahead and just put that down. Out of here, let's go to the global company menu. Let's turn on extended placeables. Give me keep. Let's put one down. Okay, so here we go. Over here we go T. Okay, so we have unload options. That's going to be useful when we have multiple heaps. Let's go back into the global company menu, and it's not an option. So this is really kind of annoying. When you have global company mods like this that will require global company, but don't actually show up in the global company menu here. Don't seem to register themselves with the global company master mod. Basically, the way this works is you would come up here and tip your product here into the heap, and it would start to pile up, obviously here at the heap location, and then you would see an indication here of how much you have in storage. Pull your trailer up here and basically get it out. We have 1 heap option. We have a 2 heap option. Okay. We have a 4 heap option. And then we have a 4 heap option that is more in a row. What's going on with that? Go. Oh, the view distances on those are super short. That's why I didn't even see it was placed there, because the view distance, look. You can see the signs on the back one just fading away because of the view distance. What is up with that? So if we walk up here to this one, we go T, okay? You can see we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4. And these represent the 4 different heaps that we have in this particular placeable. If we had product in any of these, and we can put different products in different heaps, then we would pick the one we wanted to empty. We would confirm the unloading heap, and we'd come over here and we pull out of the trailer pipe that particular heap's worth of product. We then wanted to pull from a different heap. Come up here, hit T. Say we want to unload from heap 3. Then we'd come over here and pull out of heap 3. So that's pretty much how it works. Again, it requires global company, which I'm not a giant fan of the fact that it wasn't so front-coming with that in the mod listing in the mod hub. I mean, it says it, but it's at the very, very bottom. Literally the last sentence of the mod description is, this mod only works in conjunction with global company. And the mod hub has a provision for when mods have requirements that mod authors, when they upload it, they can basically tell it that this mod has a requirement, and basically it will then list the required mod between the description and the screenshots, so then you can just click on that and directly download the required mod. So that is not how this one was particularly configured. Now another mod by Zoodle Zocket, slightly different mod name. First one was Zoodle Zocket Mods. This one is just Zoodle Zocket. It is the Bale Chipper. So this is going to be, once again, under global company. We have a Bale Chipper, accepts bales, hay, straw, grass, silage, wood chips, and forage. $50,000. Buy. Put it down. Now, I did not change the height of this, and it just depressed the ground. So to be aware, I did not tell it to lower itself into the ground. It decided to do that itself. Do be aware of that. We do get a little bit of a gravel texture. And basically what this does is allows you to store loose material, if you will. Come up here, we hit left click to open the gate. You can drop bales in here. Bales will basically get shredded and stored into the silo. We can drop loose product into here, and it will basically get stored into the silo. Pull up the global company menu, and at least this one does register itself with global company, so we can see how many grass bales, hay bales, straw bales, silage, or poplar bales we have in here. Input, output. Really isn't doing anything other than storing things. There you go. That is the Bale Chipper by, again, Zoodle Zocket. And it does also require global company. Next up, we have the British BunkerSilo by DMI 20mm Normandy. We're going to find this here under Silos. We have the BunkerSilo Large, $45,000 to buy, $80 per day. Look here, let's rotate it. This only rotates on 4 distinct angles. Go ahead and put it down. So we do change our texture. We get kind of a concrete texture under it. Check the F1. You can see the tip collisions. Tip collision walls on there. Looks an awful lot like the in-game silage bunkers. Basically looks like he's left the collisions there and just changed out the walls into this building. Pretty cool. Keeps the weather off of your silage. Kind of wish there was kind of some lights in there. Kind of can get dark in there, I guess, if you're trying to do silage compaction or extraction at night. But there you go. That is the British BunkerSilo by DMI 20mm Normandy, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we have the FB Barn by Farmer Boys Modding and Maverick 74. This mod is available for all platforms. Let's go ahead and take a look here under Sheds. We have the Farmer Boys Modding Barn, $8,000. We have another barn here for another $8,000. So this looks like a reskin of, what is it, a Farm Sim 13 building. See, it rotates here on its center axis. Put it down. And then we'll get the other barn. It also rotates on its center axis. I have to say, these are pretty attractive looking barns. Buildings for sure. I like the wood grain texture on that. Maybe the wood is a little bit too repetitive up there with the line and that grain pattern up there. I think everywhere else it looks good, but that one pattern, not just the horizontal line, but those marks right above and below that horizontal line look a little bit maybe too repetitive. Other than that, this looks pretty nice. I like the look of this. And the old looking concrete on the ground and on the walls. Kind of a timber framed look. Then we have a little bit more modern structure. Some newer looking wood, steel supports. Yeah, this is basically, I think, the building from Farm Sim 15 or 13. It's been reskinned, but it's been reskinned really nice. Do like this. Wish there was maybe some lights in there, because that is a pretty darn big building not to have any sort of lights in it at night. That is the FB Barn Pack by Farmer Boys, Modding, and Maverick 74, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the British Farmhouse. $200,000 to buy. See, it kind of rotates on that little back section. Does not rotate on its center, kind of on its back section. When you do place it, we do get a bit of grass down. Interesting, it doesn't change the ground texture. It just puts grass down here. Then it does change the ground texture around the back and the sides. You get a sleep trigger around the back door. And I would suspect that we get a sleep trigger around the front door also. Yes, we do. Overall, it's a nice looking building. I think sometimes I like to get buildings where we can go inside, but we can't go inside on this one. But it does look really nice from a decent distance away. It looks like it's actually got a textured stone exterior. Pretty cool looking British farmhouse. Again, $200,000 to buy by DMI 20mm Normandy. That mod is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at a chicken pen by KAWECO PullBox. Yes, that is the name. It is available for all platforms, and it is going to be here under animal pens. So the in-game chicken coop, $20,000 for 100 chickens, $40,000 for 400 chickens. Then we have the chicken pen, $8,000 for 50 chickens, and it does cost, what, $5 a day, I believe? Let's go ahead and put that down. Let's take a look again. Yep, $10 a day, 50 chickens, $8,000. This mod actually does say that he recommends you use the landscaping tools to further decorate the pen. Maybe put some grass in or other ground textures. See, it does change the ground to this dirt texture. This is where our chicken eggs are going to spawn. We can buy our chickens. Sorry, this is not where we... This is where we feed our chickens. So we put our chicken feed in there. It's completely wrong. And we actually get our chicken eggs, what I understand, out of chicken coop. I think the chicken eggs are going to spawn in here. We basically have to come out here and get them and take them out of the coop. So there you go, guys. That is the chicken pen by KAWECO PullBox. Let's go take a look at the next placeable. We have the multi-silo shop by C&S Modding and Anna Marie. It is available for all platforms. And this is going to be under miscellaneous, it looks like. Multi-silo $6,000. This is a small multi-silo shop where you can basically buy your crops with free delivery, $10 per day. Let's go ahead and rotate that around. Put it down. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a trailer up here, and we'll basically see what type of product or products we can get out of that silo and what the cost is. And welcome back again. Like I said earlier, went ahead and got set up for this. So let's go ahead and seed, lime, fertilizer. So let's go ahead and put seed in. So $4,454 for 4,950 liters worth of product. And let's go ahead and put seed in this heap here. Due to the capacity of this thing, obviously we're not seeing the heap come up yet. Let's go ahead and get some lime. $1,113 for 4,950 liters worth of lime. And then let's get fertilizer. $7,920 for 4,950 liters again worth of fertilizer. There you go. I had to this thing to accept the other product. I had to go in and basically select the other heap. So then I could put two different products in there. See, I have two different products, lime and fertilizer. So if I want to get lime out, I would pick that. Now if I come over here, I'm going to pull lime out. Lime, firm, and there we go. There you go, guys. That is the multi-silo shop by CNS Modding in Anne Marie, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we have a garage by Camilso 0397. All right, yeah. Name is in the lower right. It is available for all platforms. Again, it is named Garage. So here we have the Garage, 18 by 30M. Then we have green. So this is what we're Garage. This rotates one of 4 different ways. Okay. It doesn't rotate freely. Going back up here. List says season's ready. I have a fast opening door. Be on both sides in order to left click. Pretty nice looking building in general. Do have what looks like lights. Can't find a light switch here. Maybe these are automatic lights. There we go. We got a light switch. It's a door. No. It is a door, so we kind of have this interesting corner door thing going on. That is kind of interesting. And then we have another set of doors over here, so we've got lots of door options on this building. Kind of an interesting building. I really like the look of this thing. This is interesting. I don't know the practicality of that. I guess this is going to be supporting the weight, and that's going to be supporting the weight. That really isn't a problem with that corner not being load bearing. But at any rate, that's kind of an interesting concept. And this is the garage by the guy listed down in the lower right, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the grain storage building. Again, by the same mod author. $25,000 to buy. Let's see, does this one rotate freely? And once again, it rotates only on one of 4 different angles. Again, I like the looks of this building. This is a really nice looking building. It's available for all platforms, if I didn't already say that. I like how the door kind of folds up on the rails like that. Not have a light switch. Oh, the light switch is on the outside. Okay. And this is for grain storage, so this does have wall collisions. You will be able to tip product into here and store it. Pretty cool. And that is grain storage by the guy, again, listed in the lower right. Next up, we have Farmhouse Rebuild, again, by DMI 20mm Normandy. This is kind of an interesting one. Now, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to sell the first farmhouse. And have multiple farmhouses. So let's go ahead and go to farmhouses. We have the Farmhouse Rebuild, just $100,000. Let's put this one over here. See, we can freely rotate this on our axis. And what this is, according to the description, this is kind of the model farmhouse that was built after World War II. Apparently there was a fair bit of destruction as a result of World War II. So basically they went around and built a whole boatload of these fairly inefficient but fairly attractive houses. Come up here. It's like kind of a big old barn, kind of. Looking for the sleep trigger. Not on that side. There's the sleep trigger. So it is, again, for all platforms, $100,000, and again by DMI 20mm Normandy. Next up, we're going to take a look at the TimberedFarm by Mo and Teckenbauer. Yeah, okay, the guy listed in the description down in the lower right. Rid of that farmhouse because we know we're going to have another farmhouse here in a moment. This is a building pack. We have this half timbered farm consists of a residential house with garage. Here is the timbered house with garage. Let's go ahead and freely rotate that. Put that down. Then it includes a cow shed for 100 cows. So we're going to find that here under animal pens. Here we have the cow barn, $100,000. It does not rotate on its center. It kind of rotates here on the side wall. Basically where you see the mouse pointed, that's how it rotates. Let's put that down here. And then we have a horse stable, a sheep barn, a pig shelter, and a chicken coop. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the sheep pen. Big old sheep pen. It kind of rotates there on the wool spawn trigger. Put that down. We have the pig shelter. Now, it only rotates one of 4 different angles. It's interesting. Put that right there. And the horse stable. Kind of rotates there toward the front of the building. And the chicken coop. And kind of rotates in the front. And there you go. So let's take a little closer look at all of these different buildings. Here we have the garage and the house. This mod is available for all platforms, and it does list that each of these is seasons ready, which means that it is pre-prepared with a snow mask. So if you plan on a map with a snow masks and you place these down, they will indeed themselves have snow masks, which is pretty cool. This does have an interior. I was just talking about that. Go in here. Not seeing the sleep trigger pop up. There it is. There's our sleep trigger. Now over here we have the cow shed. Now I did activate just to see. It's kind of weird looking shaped. I think it's because maybe the trigger is weird. But I did activate the animal pen extension mod, which is the water valve mod, just to see if any of these placeables would happen to have support for it. The fact that this is here at the water trigger does not mean that this has built-in support. It just means that this mod will kind of work with this. A little weird shaping. I don't know why that is. But okay. So here we have the water trigger. We have the food trough, I guess. Straw trigger. Milk trigger. And then in here we should have animal buy trigger. There you go. And this does have then the manure and slurry. And we do see that it does change and put some grass around the back. Let's go over here and check out the chicken coop. We have our chicken buy trigger and our egg spawn trigger. We have our food trough right here. Down here, this was the pig pen, I believe. We have the water trough, easily identifiable now with the water valve from the animal pen extension. Again, this isn't going to show up unless you activate the animal pen extension mod. In addition, we've got our food trough, we have our straw trigger, we have our pig buy trigger. Right here, these are all pretty nice looking buildings. Slurry, we got our manure, and then we have this interesting strip of grass that came down when we put that building down. It's all the way over there, so that is kind of odd why that happens. I would expect this building pack to get an update because obviously it shouldn't be planting grass way off to the side like that. Here we have the sheep pen. We have what it looks like our wool spawn. For sheep buy trigger. We have our water trough. We have our food trough in here. And then we have the horse. I'll put the horse one. Oh, it's right there in front of me. Here's the horse one. Didn't even see it. So we've got our horse pen here. Come in here where we buy our horses. The horse water trough, food trough, straw trigger. Right there. A little bit of an area in the back for the horses to just kind of get out, roaming around, and assume that these lights are going to turn on at dark. You guys, that is the TimberedFarm pack by Mo Tekken Bauer. At least that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Name is written in the lower right of the screen. And then our final placeable mod for the day is kind of a fun one. We have a placeable ramp by Stoneway Design. You're going to find that here under miscellaneous. We have the placeable ramp. Let's go ahead and put this down. Just have a little bit of fun with it. $1,200 to buy. Pretty simple, pretty cheap. $2 a day maintenance, and, well, it's nothing but fun. There's no real practical use for this other than to just jump. Let's go see what kind of air we can get, and then basically, guys, we're going to break out of the game and jump into the video editor and do a little bit of an analysis of the 2 Seasons Geos that got released this week. Oh, yeah. Totally broke the tractor right. All right, guys. So I'll be right back with you. So the first geo we're going to take a look at here tonight is the Seasons Geo for Australia, Queensland. That is in the lower right, and the standard base geo with Seasons is in the upper left. And you can see that basically we are in a complete flip-flop scenario other than cotton. Also, interesting enough, you cannot plant potatoes or sugar beets in this particular geo, but you can plant cotton, you can do sugarcane if you should so want. So typical for a southern hemisphere geo, we basically harvest in the spring and plant in the autumn, whereas in the northern hemisphere we would be planting in the spring and harvesting in the autumn. Now what's interesting is cotton, sunflowers, soybeans, and corn are the typical plant in the spring, harvest in the fall. But wheat, barley, oat, and canola is the reverse. That is where we basically harvest in the spring and summer and plant in the fall and winter. So what that means is for those crops, wheat, barley, oat, and canola, you're not going to have any harvest the first year. You're going to be planting at the end of the first year and then reaping your rewards at the start of the second year. But what it does mean is you could put cotton, sunflowers, soybeans, or corn in the ground and basically get those out of the ground in the fall. You have a fairly long planting and harvesting season for sugarcane. I know it's not shown here on the screen because I only have so much space, but you do have a fairly long time. So this is a pretty good geo if you want to do cotton or sugarcane as far as seasons play. All right, and the last mod we're going to take a look at here tonight is the Southern Italy Geo by JDM96 and Farmer Girl. Now, there have been other Italy Geos come out in the recent weeks, and they have been completely flip-flopped from this particular Geo here. We've seen geos where we have extremely narrow planting and harvesting schedules, and basically backwards planting and harvesting schedules where we are harvesting in the spring and summer and planting in the autumn and winter. But here we have more of what we would expect in a northern hemispherical geo. We've got planting in the spring, harvesting in the autumn, fall and winter planting schedules also. So you can see, comparing it to the standard geo above it, that basically we have the same planting schedule for wheat, barley, and oats This is another geo where we do not have the ability to plant cotton or sugarcane. We have a little bit longer planting season for sunflowers, and soybeans and corn appear to be the same as the standard geo, as well as sugar beets and potatoes. We do have a bit warmer ground temperature right from the very start compared to the standard geo, and if you take a look at the fall planting, you can see that in the standard geo, we're basically done planting at the end of autumn, whereas with the southern Italy geo, we are planting from the end of summer, the start of the end of summer, all the way through the end of winter, and then end of spring. So basically, the only time we can't plant most of our crops is going to be in early and mid-summer. Now, this is, of course, slid a little bit with respect to soybeans and corn and things like that, but overall, it's a pretty similar geo to the standard geo with just some longer autumn planting schedules, which again is a complete flip-flop from what we see with the other Italy geos that have come out as of late. So guys, that is going to do us for this week's Weekend Roundup. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite mod was that was released this week. Again, this is when we take a look at all the mods newly released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of November 18th through November 22nd, 2019. So until next time, happy farming.